Locals avoid entering them, and visitors regret stepping inside.
I mean, what, 4,000 lobotomies?
Over 4,000 lobotomies and a lot of deaths from the lobotomy.
A lot of murders that have happened here, either patient on patient or abandonment.
These houses don't just look abandoned, they've been left for a reason. From crumbling mansions to ancient castles cursed by the past, here are the most haunted places in the world, and what's inside them will leave you shocked.
No. The door just opened by itself. No.
Which one?
That door just opened by itself.
Bring your attention to the famous Franklin Castle in Ohio City. Question, is it really haunted?
In a quiet part of Cleveland, this large house has gained attention for more than just its architecture. Franklin Castle was built in the 1800s by a wealthy family, but many odd stories later followed. Visitors and past owners have mentioned hearing footsteps, music from nowhere, and voices from hidden parts of the house. Secret passageways and locked doors added to the mystery. Although the building has changed owners several times, the strange tales never stopped. Tours have been offered off and on, depending on renovations. With its dark look and long history, it remains one of the most talked about buildings in the area.
Sometimes it's footsteps crossing the ballroom on the top floor, or it's somebody talking from another room and you know you're the only one in the house, or it's somebody running up the stairs, waking you up. Go and say something because you hear them running down the stairs, but you hear a child giggling.
Pitt Mansion. High above Portland, this beautiful mansion offers great views and some quiet mysteries. The Pitt Mansion was built in 1914 by a wealthy couple who helped shape the city. Today, it's a museum that shows life from a century ago. Staff and visitors have occasionally reported soft music, footsteps in empty rooms, and items moving slightly on their own. The house is carefully kept, with original furniture and detailed designs. Most guests enjoy its peaceful charm, but a few have said the atmosphere sometimes changes without warning. Whether real or imagined, the feeling stays with many after they leave. Chillingham Castle. With stone towers and a deep history, Chillingham Castle looks like something from a storybook, but it's also known for its eerie side. Built in the 1200s, it has hosted royalty and soldiers over the years. Now open to visitors, the castle is filled with antiques, armor, and long hallways. Guests have mentioned hearing whispers and feeling watched in certain rooms. There's even a special area called the Ghost Room, where the strangest events have been noted. The castle's owners encourage respectful tours and often share its rich history. Even during the day, the stillness can feel heavy. Stanley Hotel. Sitting in the Rocky Mountains, the Stanley Hotel looks peaceful from the outside, but guests have shared curious experiences for years. Built in 1909, it gained worldwide attention after inspiring a famous horror novel. Visitors often talk about piano music playing by itself, footsteps in long hallways, and strange images in their photos. Some rooms are known for flickering lights or items shifting positions. The hotel offers guided tours, including ones focused on these unusual stories. Its large wooden staircases and old-style rooms make the place feel like a step back in time. Many guests enjoy their stay, but leave with questions they didn't expect. Eastern State Penitentiary. This old prison once held thousands of inmates, but today it's known more for the quiet echoes that remain. Eastern State Penitentiary, built in 1829, was one of the first of its kind. Now a museum. It still has long stone corridors and heavy cell doors. Visitors have spoken about strange sounds, voices from empty blocks, and soft footsteps on the concrete. Some have even mentioned shadows that move on their own. The building stands tall with broken windows and peeling walls, giving it a cold, silent feeling. Even with the lights on, it's the quiet that catches most people off guard. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
This place has a really, really twisted, gruesome history to it.
Dude,
as far
it's
as
like it's cursed, right?
I mean,
like
what, 4,000
over
lobotomies?
4,000 lobotomies and a lot of deaths from the lobotomy.
A lot of murders that have happened here, either patient on patient or abandonment. There are people that have been born in Literally
Born
born here and kept here and died here.
In a wide open field stands a giant building with over 200 rooms, once filled with patients and staff. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum operated from the 1800s to the 1990s. Since it closed, it has become a historic site known for its long hallways and hidden corners. Tour groups have reported sudden cold spots, faint whispers, and doors that slowly move. Each floor has its own story, with visitors often feeling strange in certain areas. Though carefully maintained today, the building keeps its original layout and furniture. Many leave the tour feeling thoughtful, as if the walls still hold old memories. Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Hidden in the Canadian Rockies, this grand hotel looks like a castle surrounded by trees, but inside, it's filled with more than just guests. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel has been welcoming travelers since the 1800s. Alongside its luxury, people have quietly shared odd experiences, unseen footsteps in empty halls, lights flickering without cause, and voices heard in rooms with no one inside. One tale speaks of a helpful bellhop who appears and vanishes without a trace. Staff members often hear gentle whispers or see things out of the corner of their eye. Even with its beauty, the quiet moments here feel unforgettable. Queen Mary.
We had a scavenger hunt one day for some youngsters. Well, no one ever found their way down there that day, so I was there by myself. And I'm sitting there tapping on the woodwork next to the porthole, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be weird if somebody responded? And lo and behold, just on the other side of the wall, I heard somebody go tap, tap. Could it have been my imagination? Of course.
Floating peacefully at Long Beach Harbor, this retired ocean liner now serves as a hotel, but it still holds on to its history. The Queen Mary began sailing in the 1930s and carried passengers across the ocean for decades. After docking for good, reports of strange activity began to surface. Visitors have mentioned doors closing softly on their own, quiet footsteps in empty hallways, and cold spots in certain rooms. One of the swimming pools, now dry, is often pointed out for unexplained noises. Tours are offered daily, and many leave with a sense that the ship remembers far more than it shows. Chaone Number 81. In a busy part of Beijing, this large abandoned house stands out with its quiet, empty feel. Known as Chaone Number 81, the building has been the center of many stories. Built in the early 1900s, it was once used by church officials and later left empty. Locals have reported strange sounds, flickering lights, and a feeling of someone standing nearby when no one is there. Though it's closed to the public, people still visit the gate to take photos and talk about what might be inside. With peeling paint and broken windows, the house gives off a sense of being frozen in time. Its silence has become its strongest voice. Carl Beck House.
Charles, we came to visit your family. Do you want to show us that you're here or someone's here by touching one of these flashlights? Oh, no way.
On a quiet street in Penitentiary, this house looks peaceful, but visitors say it holds an unexplained energy. The Carl Beck House, built in the 1800s, was home to a successful businessman and his family. Over the years, guests have mentioned hearing footsteps from empty rooms and soft voices. One of the bedrooms is said to be colder than the rest, even on warm days. The current owners sometimes rent the place to guests, and some have left reviews describing strange dreams or sudden chills. With its bright exterior and tidy lawn, it seems like an ordinary home, but many who stay overnight leave with stories they didn't expect to tell.
Fuck!
No leg grace, someone pulled my hair.
Berg Wolfsegg. Deep in the Bavarian countryside, this small castle has earned attention for more than just its age. Berg Wolfsegg was built in the 13th century and is known for the mystery that surrounds it. Locals often speak of a white woman who appears in the halls, believed to be tied to past family events. Travelers who visit the castle say they've heard quiet footsteps and doors that close without warning. The building now serves as a historic site and museum, with guided tours available. Though the castle feels calm during the day, many say its true character comes out as evening falls. Its silence seems to tell more stories than words ever could. Highgate House. In the rolling English countryside stands a house that once welcomed kings, but now draws curious guests for other reasons. Highgate House began as a coaching inn centuries ago, hosting travelers on long journeys. Today, it operates as a hotel with classic charm. However, several guests have spoken about unusual events, like cold breezes in closed rooms and quiet knocks at their door late at night. Staff have also noted lights switching on by themselves or hearing music when no one is around. With cozy rooms and a peaceful garden, the house still holds its old warmth, but something in its walls may still remember the past. The Sally House.
Do you not like me moving your stuff out of the circle? Oh, shit! Sally! There's an opening now. Look what he done! Oh, I heard moved it. You want me to move it back? What? What? Sally, this is the last hurrah. You're gonna... Wake up? Just go?
In the small town of Atchison, this house looks like any other until people step inside. The Sally House became known after a family moved in during the 1990s and started experiencing unusual activity. Lights turning on and off, items moving, and strange sounds were just the beginning. Paranormal teams have since visited and recorded odd readings. One room in particular is often pointed out for its heavy air and strange atmosphere. The house is now open for daytime tours and overnight stays. Many who visit say they don't see anything, but feel as if they're never truly alone while walking through it.
If that actually is a demonic presence in here, or Sally, the thing that says it's Sally, can you turn the light on?
Borley Rectory. Once called the most haunted house in England, Borley Rectory left behind a long trail of strange events. Built in 1862, the rectory was home to church officials and sat near the ruins of a much older building. Over time, locals and visitors began reporting mysterious writings on walls, sudden loud sounds, and lights seen through empty windows. Even after the building was damaged and later removed, the land continued to draw attention. Investigators have visited the site many times, each hoping to learn more. Though the house no longer stands, the stories surrounding it have not faded and still bring people from all over to see where it once stood. Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire Caves are supposed to be haunted. Supposedly one of the most haunted places here in England.
Atop Montpelier Hill, this old stone building stands alone, surrounded by forest and mystery. The Hellfire Club was built in the 1700s as a hunting lodge, but it quickly became known for strange gatherings. Over time, people began reporting strange noises and moving shadows inside the ruined structure. Some hikers say they feel sudden chills, even during warm days. The building's broken walls and dark rooms give it a spooky look, especially in the evening. Despite its creepy past, it remains a popular stop for walkers and history lovers. Visitors often leave with an odd feeling they can't explain, even if nothing strange happens.
Just the fact that we are actually walking the tunnels through the caves of the Hellfire Club here in High Wycombe, England, to me is it just blows my mind.
Winchester Mystery House.
What if it was built as a giant puzzle, one that protects a vast treasure that still lies hidden behind one of the house's hundreds of walls? Something to ponder.
At first glance, this giant house looks like a maze built by mistake. Located in San Jose, the Winchester Mystery House was owned by Sarah Winchester, widow of a weapon production company owner. She kept adding rooms, stairs, and halls in strange ways. There are staircases that lead to the ceiling and doors that open to empty walls. Sarah believed the house was visited by spirits and made odd changes to confuse them. Visitors often speak of soft footsteps and quiet whispers in the halls. With more than 160 rooms and windows placed in strange corners, it feels more like a puzzle than a home. Open for tours today, the place still puzzles everyone who steps inside its walls.
Well, the Winchester Mystery House is a very special place. It was built with no master plan. but there are a lot of architectural oddities that remain a mystery as to why they're here.
Monte Cristo Homestead.
So one night when they came back from an evening out, they noticed there was lights on. Then when they opened the door into the homestead, all the lights were off. Kind of creepy.
Tucked away in a quiet town, this homestead has held on to its past like few places can. Monte Cristo in Junee, Australia, was home to the Crawley family in the 1800s. It still holds much of its original design. Many visitors say they felt cold touches, seen lights flicker, or heard voices from nowhere. People who stay too long sometimes describe feeling a strong, heavy air around them. The current owners have turned it into a museum where guests can join night tours and hear the home's strange tales. With each step through its old halls, the place seems to share a little more of its hidden energy. Raynham Hall. Raynham Hall is a large country house known for a famous photo taken in 1936. It shows a figure floating down the stairs, believed to be the Brown Lady, named after her brown dress. The story connects her to Lady Dorothy Walpole, who once lived there. Visitors and staff have reported seeing lights flicker and doors open without reason. The hall itself is beautiful and still used for events and public visits. Despite its charm, the sightings have made it famous. The Brown Lady is not considered harmful, but is often described as silent and still. Her image remains one of the most widely shared ghost pictures ever. The mix of quiet beauty and mystery keeps Raynham Hall in the spotlight. Myrtles Plantation. From the outside, it looks like a peaceful southern home with tall trees and wide porches. But the Myrtles Plantation is full of stories that visitors still talk about. Built in 1796, this plantation has long been a stop for those interested in unusual events. Guests say they've seen shadowy figures, heard music from empty rooms, and even captured strange shapes in photos. One image, showing a woman in a green wrap, is still discussed today. The home offers tours that share both history and unexplained tales. Even if you don't see anything strange, the feeling of being watched follows many who walk through it. Lalaurie Mansion. In the heart of the French Quarter, one house continues to draw attention without even opening its doors. The Lalaurie Mansion is known not for how it looks, but for the stories that surround it. Owned in the 1800s by Delphine Lalaurie, it soon gained a troubling reputation. Over time, the house passed through many hands. Visitors who've stayed nearby often speak of voices, flickers of movement, and unusual chills. Though the mansion isn't open to the public, people still line up outside to take photos and hear its history. Even after all these years, the building's name remains a part of New Orleans' haunted tours and local tales. Ancient Ram Inn.
Okay, explorers, so we are inside the ancient Ram Inn now. I am with Matt and with the boys from Ghost Theory. We're just going to take a look around before we start investigating this place.
Hidden in the small village of Watton under Edge, this old inn is known for giving visitors a very uneasy feeling. Built in 1145, the ancient Ram Inn was once used by priests and travelers. Over the years, guests have reported cold spots, strange shadows, and sounds in the night. Many believe the land it was built on holds spiritual energy from earlier times. Inside, the rooms are filled with old furniture and creaky floors, adding to its spooky charm. The owner often shares stories about the house's past and gives private tours. Though it looks like a simple old home from the outside, those who walk in often say it feels like something is always watching. Chateau de Brissac. Standing tall with 7 floors, this grand castle is the highest in France. The Chateau de Brissac is known for its beautiful design and peaceful gardens, but behind its luxury, it also holds eerie stories. Visitors have often spoken of a woman in green appearing in the tower rooms. Many link her presence to old family tales connected to the castle. Strange noises, like whispers and light footsteps, have also been reported. The current owners live in part of the building, while the rest is open for tours and overnight stays. Despite its spooky side, the castle remains a lovely destination for history lovers and those drawn to places with quiet mystery. Ballygally Castle. Overlooking the Irish Sea, this castle now works as a hotel, but it's far from ordinary. Ballygally Castle was built in the 1600s and still carries stories from its early years. One of the most talked about tales involves a woman named Lady Isabel, who is believed to still wander the halls. Some guests say they've heard gentle knocking at night or felt sudden cold air while walking through certain areas. The hotel has even set up a special ghost room where visitors can learn about the castle's past. With stone walls and a sea view, the building attracts both travelers and those curious about ghostly tales. It's a mix of comfort and mystery in one place. Larnach Castle. On a hilltop with stunning views, this castle serves with beauty on days and strange rumors by night. Larnach Castle was built in the 19th century and is the only castle in New Zealand. It has gone through years of change, but parts of its original structure remain. Some visitors have described sudden changes in temperature or hearing voices when alone in certain rooms. The building is now open to the public, with daily tours and lovely gardens. Special events are held here too, often drawing large crowds. Even though it's known for elegance, the quiet moments inside the hall sometimes feel oddly still. Guests often leave with questions they didn't expect to ask. Changi Hospital. At the edge of a quiet road in Singapore, the remains of this hospital still stand behind broken fences and overgrown paths. Changi Hospital, once a busy medical center, has been empty for years. It was built during the early 1900s and later used in wartime, which added to its long and difficult history. Many people visiting the site have shared stories of sudden cold air, strange sounds, and feelings of unease, even during the day. Flashlights are said to flicker, and some claim to hear soft talking in the dark. Though the building is closed to the public, its reputation keeps drawing curious eyes from outside the gate.
Very nice. Because you look at them.
Old Charleston Jail.
Closing up, I was on my own. I have to close the jail down and walked into the room at the back behind me in the corner on the right. Felt like somebody pushed me. And I turned around, there was nobody there. So I walked off, closed everything up and walked away. And Bulldog Tours just tours here.
In downtown Charleston stands a tall stone building with rusted bars and narrow windows. The old Charleston Jail once held all kinds of people in the 1800s, from pirates to war prisoners. Now it's a place known for its shadowy past and guided tours. Visitors often describe hearing footsteps in the upper floors, doors that shut without wind, and quiet whispers from empty cells. Its crumbling walls and iron staircases still hold the marks of time. Even with sunlight pouring through broken windows, the rooms seem to keep their own secrets. Many guests leave with more than just pictures. They leave with questions.
This jailhouse some of Charleston's most notorious criminals, pirates and bootleggers and murderers and you name it. This is where they were kept. It was used until 1939, and at that point, they had built a new jail, and this jail shut down.
Hotel Cecil. This tall building in Los Angeles has become widely talked about for more than just its design. Hotel Cecil opened in the 1920s and has been through many changes since then. Over the years, guests and workers have reported flickering lights, odd sounds, and strange reflections in mirrors. Certain rooms have been linked to unsettling events, which added to the hotel's unusual image. Today, it still stands, though not all areas are open to the public. Even from outside, people say the atmosphere feels heavy and silent. Visitors often stop to take photos, but the building's energy is what they remember most. Leap Castle.
We were just lucky. It came up at a time when there was nobody interested in it. It was very cheap. I had loads of energy and I just fancied having a go at it. And that's how it came about. But we're delighted we did. We loved the place.
This ancient Irish castle rises above green hills, holding centuries of history behind its stone walls. Leap Castle is believed to date back to the 1200s, and many legends surround it. Visitors report hearing low chants, soft footsteps, and doors that creak open with no one around. One of the most talked about rooms is the chapel, where people have sensed a cold presence or glimpsed movement from the corner of their eye. The owners have worked hard to protect and share the castle's past. Even with peaceful surroundings, the building gives off a quiet tension, making it a popular spot for curious travelers.
Been here 4 times, so I have, and it's an amazing location, so it is. It affects your emotions, something shocking. It is a total different feeling. It's hard to explain.
Corvin Castle.
Not usually vlogging with this kit, but hey, I remembered how nice this castle is, and guys, visit this castle. It's cool.
This towering castle, with its long bridges and pointed towers, looks like something from a fairy tale, but its past tells a deeper story. Corvin Castle was built in the 1400s and has stood through centuries of wars and changes. Today, it's open to visitors who walk through large halls and stone courtyards. Some report odd lights, shifting sounds, and feelings of being watched while standing alone. The dungeon and old staircases are known for their heavy silence, even with other people nearby. Though it's well cared for, the castle holds on to its ancient mood. Many leave feeling like they stepped into another world. Hoia Baciu Forest. This forest near the city of Cluj-Napoca is often called the most mysterious woodland in Europe. Hoia Baciu Forest gained attention after a man took a photo of a flying object in the 1960s. Since then, people have shared strange experiences like sudden headaches, camera malfunctions, and odd shapes seen between the trees. The forest is also known for a perfect circle where nothing grows. Many hikers say they feel watched or hear soft, rustling sounds, even when there's no wind. Some even lose track of time while walking through. With its twisted trees and quiet paths, the forest leaves a lasting impression. Houseka Castle.
The Czech Republic's Houseka Castle is no exception. But unlike most castles, its walls weren't built to defend against an enemy attack, but rather to keep the enemy trapped within.
In the middle of the Czech countryside stands a castle that was not built to guard against enemies, but to seal something in. Houseka Castle, built in the 13th century, has no main entrance on the ground floor and many windows that open to solid walls. Legends say it was built to cover a deep hole, said to cause fear and confusion. People visiting the site have described seeing dark shapes, hearing growls, or feeling dizzy near the center of the structure. Though it now holds tours and concerts, the castle's odd design still surprises visitors who wonder about its original purpose.
The answer lies deep beneath Houseka, and it turns out this castle is no fairy tale. It's a place straight out of a horror story.
Lawang Sewu. In the heart of Semarang sits a large colonial-style building known for its long halls and high arches. Lawang Sewu, which means 1,000 doors, was once a railway office and later used for other purposes. Its many rooms and basement areas are said to be where strange sights and sounds have been reported. Visitors have seen shadows move past doorways or heard tapping with no one around. The building's design adds to the mystery, with doors opening into empty rooms and staircases that lead into darkness. Despite restoration work, the silence inside the building often says more than words ever could. Dragsholm Castle. Among peaceful fields in Denmark, this castle stands with a calm face, but many believe it holds old memories deep within. Dragsholm Castle has a long past, from being a royal home to a prison. Visitors have mentioned quiet voices, light footsteps, and even figures that vanish when approached. One part of the castle is known for sudden cold air, even in summer. It now runs as a hotel, and some guests say they've felt gentle touches or seen shapes in mirrors. With beautiful architecture and strong stone walls, it attracts both history lovers and those drawn by its quiet mystery. Casa Loma. Overlooking Toronto, this large mansion looks like a royal palace with towers and grand staircases. Casa Loma was built in the early 1900s and is now open to the public. Though filled with charm, Many visitors speak of odd experiences during their tours. Soft music has been heard without a source, and doors have been seen closing gently on their own. Some say they feel cold in certain hallways, or hear whispers in the stables. The mansion's hidden passages and antique rooms make each visit feel like stepping into a forgotten time. Even with crowds, parts of the house remain strangely quiet. Fort George. Nestled near the waters of the Niagara River, Fort George once served as a strategic military post. Today, it stands as a historic site, but its past is far from quiet. Visitors often report hearing footsteps echoing along the old stone paths, or catching glimpses of figures moving through the shadows. The fort's dark underground passages seem to hold an unsettling air, and some have even felt a cold breeze in areas without windows. Though it's a popular stop for history buffs, the fort's lingering energy often leaves a deep impression on those who visit. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Known for its eerie reputation, Waverly Hills Sanatorium was built in the early 1900s as a tuberculosis hospital. Over the years, countless patients were treated here, many of whom never left. Today, it's famous for paranormal sightings. People have shared stories of hearing strange sounds in empty rooms, including voices and footsteps, as well as seeing shadows move across the halls. Some claim to have felt cold hands or sudden chills, even when no one is nearby. Despite its beautiful exterior, Waverly Hills holds an undeniable sense of the past, keeping its secrets close. Rolling Hills Asylum. Rolling Hills Asylum was once home to hundreds of people, including those who suffered from mental illness and others who never left. Now, it's known for its ghostly presence. Visitors often describe sudden cold spots, doors slamming without cause, and footsteps echoing through the building. The hallways, filled with abandoned furniture and old equipment, seem to keep the voices of the past alive. Some say they've felt watched in certain rooms, particularly the old isolation cells. Despite being a historic location, the air in Rolling Hills feels as if the past has never fully left. Imuro Mansion.
Wow, it's a giant living room. Whatever made that noise is not making it anymore.
In the mountains of Japan lies a mansion with a dark and mysterious reputation. Imuro Mansion was once home to a powerful family, but rumors say it holds dark secrets tied to ancient rituals. Visitors have spoken about hearing unsettling sounds, like whispering voices or distant footsteps when walking near the mansion. The surrounding trees seem to close in, and some say they feel strange pressure as they approach the old structure. Its haunting history and silent, decaying walls make it a place that both attracts and unsettles those brave enough to visit.
This closet. Can't even get through from this side. There's something blocking.
Baltimore's Asylum.
We can check out the other wing in a sec. I just want to get through these rooms if that's okay.
That's fine. I think this one's connected.
Baltimore's Asylum, officially known as the Crownsville Hospital, was once home to many patients with mental health challenges. Now, it stands as an eerie reminder of its past. The building is filled with stories of strange occurrences. Visitors have often heard footsteps echoing in empty hallways or seen shadows darting across rooms. In some places, people say they feel a sudden drop in temperature. Though the asylum is mostly abandoned, its legacy lingers in the air, drawing ghost hunters and curious souls who wonder what still lingers inside.
No. The door just opened by itself. No.
Which one?
That door just opened by itself.
Haunted Forest House. In the middle of a dense jungle, an old, abandoned house sits quietly. Over time, locals nearby have noticed strange noises coming from the house, like creaks and soft whispers. The village often warns visitors to stay away, saying the house has an unsettling feel to it. Though no one knows for sure, the stories have kept people cautious, and the house remains a mystery, standing alone in the jungle. Some say it's best left undisturbed. Every now and then, curious souls venture close, but none have dared to go inside, keeping its secrets locked behind its crumbling walls. The jungle has a way of protecting its own mysteries. Witch Outside. One night in South Africa, live CCTV footage captured something that left everyone stunned. A figure, appearing to be a witch, was seen near a house, holding a broom and moving in strange, eerie ways. The figure paced back and forth, performing odd motions that seemed deliberate and unsettling. Neighbors who saw the footage began to wonder, was this house haunted, or was something else going on? The mysterious figure's actions sparked debates online, with some believing it was witchcraft, while others thought it might be something more inexplicable. Whatever the cause, the eerie footage left many questioning what truly happened that night. And now, let's move on to the subscribers' pick. There's a super creepy place in Mexico called the Island of the Dolls. It's not a normal island. It's covered with old, broken dolls hanging from trees and buildings. The story goes that a man named Don Julian found a little girl who drowned near the island. Not long after, he saw a doll floating in the water and hung it on a tree to remember her. But then, he kept collecting more and more dolls, thinking the girl's spirit was still around. People who visit say the dolls move their heads, blink, or even whisper. Years later, Don Julian also lived his last breaths in the same spot where he found the girl, which makes this story one of the creepiest one ever told. And with that, see you next time.